Hi Greedy 3Ders, back in February in 25 I did a comparison on some clear translucent resins, and at the end of the video I said I'm going to come back to them in 6 months time and we're going to have a look to see if any of them have gone a little bit yellow. Well, that time is now, so stay tuned. So here is the lineup, starting off with some Elegoo, some Jamg He, some Nova 3D, some Formlabs and some Davinci. We're also going to be looking at some of the He resins a little bit later on too. We're going to use the same model for each of them. This is from Loot Studio, Shearer Pyromancer Apprentice. I figured if we use the same model we can compare easier, and I'm going to print everything using Chitubox Pro, and I'm going to vary the times for exposure based on the recommended times for the resin, and I'll show you that each time. The process is going to be fairly similar unless I said differently in each one. We're going to top up the Mars 5 Ultra with said resin. Because it's cold here, I'm just going to warm it through with a hairdryer. I'm going to try and get the consistency relatively the same for each one. It is a little bit cold in the man cave, so I am conscious that the cold may have an impact on it. I'm also going to be using the Elegoo external heater on the Mars 5 Ultra just to keep the temperature ambient as we go through the whole printing process. I think it's really important to warm it that way. When we get the end result, that's hopefully what we'll be looking for. Both of the models and the base are printed beautifully on the Mars, and we're going to be taking that said piece of kit, dragging it across, getting it off the build plate, popping it in some IPA to give it a bit of a clean, again unless the actual resin says that you don't do that. And then once we've got it nice and clean in our IPA, I'm going to pop it in a little bit of warm water, again unless I state differently, just to get the supports off a little bit easier. And then we're going to cure it in a curing station just for a couple of minutes, just to give it that cure, and again just following the guidance for each specific resin to make sure that we're not overdoing it on the curing stage. First resin on the bench is the least expensive of all of them. This is the ABS-like 3 Plus from Elegoo, and bought from Amazon. As you can see there, £13.99, and this is the end result after 35 seconds base layer and 3-second exposure. Doesn't look too bad, does it? When we compare these together at the end, you will see some variation in colour, of course you will, but actually, you know, it doesn't look too bad. We've got a nice clear result. It's all printed wonderfully. It's done what I would want it to do. It's not particularly yellow, as you can see there. Everything is clear. Looks okay to me, so a successful print I would suggest. And August 2025 we come back to said Elegoo print, and I actually think it's got a bit clearer. What do you think? I think it's I just think it looks really translucent. The longer it's gone on, the better it looks. Happy with the result. Definitely no yellowing with this one. Moving on to Jamg He Clear. Again, this one was Amazon, £23.99, so a little bit more expensive. The only difference with the Jamg He post processing is again 35-second base layers, 2.7 exposure, is they do recommend you don't clean it in IPA or water. You just let it dry naturally and then give it a quick cure for a couple of minutes. So we have followed that guidance. Seems a little bit strange and a little bit foreign to me not to clean it, but there you go, looks okay. Again, when we compare them all together, you will see that there are differences, but this doesn't look too bad. It's clear. It's not overly yellow. There's a hint in there, I guess, but it's not too bad at all. But 6 months later, there's no yellowing, but is it me, or does it look like it's gone a little bit blue? Now, I haven't added anything to it. Nothing's been changed. I've just left it on the shelf, but it definitely looks like it's a little bit blue. What do you think? This is the Formlabs Creator Super Clear. This is not the most expensive, $44, £38-ish, but this one is ACMO free, and I've done a whole video on that. And I have to say, this is probably the nicest one of the lot. 25-second base layer, but a 7-second exposure time, so quite a high exposure time. But the actual quality of the translucentness of this is probably the best one of the lot, and you'll see when I put them all together, it's absolutely glass-like. It looks beautiful. Again, it's printed beautifully, and everything is done as it said it would do on the tin. Higher exposure, no ACMO, a little bit more expensive on this one. Now I know Formlabs do some excellent resins and I am not disappointed. 6 months later, the clarity and the cleanliness of this print still shines through. Yeah, okay, probably one of the more expensive of the resins, but definitely it's done its job absolutely admirably. What do you think? Next, we're moving on to Nova 3D, £39.99, so the price is going up a little bit with this one. Again, it's available on Amazon if you want to get your sticky paws on it. And I found with this one, again, it's a nice quality, good, high, detailed, clear, translucent resin. It's printed perfectly first time. I had no issues at all with this one. This one is compatible with the He Gears RS. I had it printed in that in a previous video. Absolutely fine. Really pleased with the quality of this. Really pleased with how translucent it looks. And again, I think it's one of the top ones. And August 2025, what do you think? I think that looks very nice. I don't see a hint of any change of colour in it. It's nice and crystal clear. It's looking lovely. It's translucent. It's doing everything that you ask of it. So 6 months later, yep, looking good. Now next we come on to another Formlabs, the Clear V5. Now this one is probably the most expensive one of them. It is 95 quid a kilogram and you can only use this resin on the Formlabs Form 4 printer. But look at the quality of that. That's beautiful. Now this isn't quite as old as the others. It's only 3 months old, but I definitely think this is a beautiful bit of kit. Sometimes you get what you pay for, but the cost of the printer and the resin will make your eyes water. But yep, translucent resin, definitely this one works. Now, this little beauty is about 16 months old, and this is Pat 10 from He Gears again, another expensive one, around about 95 quid a kilogram. But the one to the right, that one that's yellow, this was original Elegoo clear, and this is about 2 years old, and that really has gone yellow. So I think it's important to come back to them after some time just to see what happens, but definitely the He Gears one is holding its own. So after 6 months we haven't had any yellowing, which is a really good thing, and it gives you a little bit of confidence if you're buying one of these resins to know you've got a little bit of longevity, and that's every single one we've tested has not gone yellow. Now for me, the He Gears one that I used probably quite a while back now on the Predator model seems to be absolutely beautiful. The Formlabs one also, the Visible Woman, although it's not as old as the other ones, still looks absolutely gorgeous. But the 4 that we did way back in February, they haven't really changed a great deal in that time. So if you're going to buy one of those, and it's not up to me to tell you which one to get if you're going to get one, have some confidence in knowing that whichever one you get, they won't go yellow, certainly on the tests that I've done today. We'll have another look at them at 12 months. I think that might be quite interesting. So February of 2026, we will review them once again. If you do like the content on this channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon. You must be sick of me saying this at the end of every video, but this could be your first video with Greedy 3D. So we do have a Patreon if you want to join it. It could be free, or you can pay a couple of quid a month. And these people here, are the people who are supporting this channel. Thank you to my patrons. You guys are, of course, absolutely fantastic, and thank you for your support. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you had any good or bad experiences with translucent resin? Which one is your go-to? Which is your favourite? Again, I won't be the only one reading the comments. Anybody that comes across this video can look at the comments and see what other people think, and I really do think that a shared opinion is really important in this hobby. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on this video anyway in 6 months' time. Stay tuned.